2010, when I was buying $150,000 to $200,000 houses to get, what's the rule? 1% rule? Yeah, that's for amateurs. That's for people that don't know what the hell they're doing. Listen, guys, if I can't steal it legally, morally, and ethically, I ain't buying it. And that's one of y'all's biggest problems. You overpay for shit. And I'm telling you that because I did that. You got to be a gangster. You want me to tell you what you want to hear or what you need to hear? You got to be able to slit throats and kiss babies all at the same time in this business. It does not mean you be unethical, but you have to understand that you have to buy super cheap to better make it long lasting in this business. All this stuff, you say, oh yeah, I'll just buy it the 1% rule, I'm gonna make it. Yeah, all those guys that bought it the 1% are hosed. They're out of the business. So I bought all those trailers super cheap, filled that park up. I was like, shit, this is great. Like I can't lose on this deal. So I was like, let me go look for some more mobile home parks. Well, from 2017 up until 21? No, up until today. Up until today, we bought 19 mobile home parks. We scaled up to roughly 700 units. I recently sold off 5 parks. We made a lot of money. We made a couple $1 million in the past 4 or 5 months. 1031 exchange that, ended up buying a cabin in Broken Bow, which we like Airbnbs also. We own a bunch of Airbnbs on the beach. Every time we make a big lick on something, we end up 1031 exchanging and buying something on the beach because it's, I call that legacy assets. I don't want to keep a mobile home park forever. You think I want to give a mobile home park to my kids 40 years from now? No.
They don't want them.
They're gonna just, yeah. So
real quick. So I'm glad you said that as far as the being a gangster about it. You also talk about unfair advantage and strategic advantage, right?
Yes.
So what does that look like in that space? So how do you define the difference?
Let's talk about that, because business is war, guys. Who here has ever read The Art of War by Sun Tzu? Okay, only 10% of the crowd. Every single person in this room needs to read The Art of War. What is The Art of War about? In Harvard Business, they make every master's degree student read The Art of War, because business is what? It's war. Except we don't die, but we die financially, which sucks almost just as bad as probably dying physically. I would tell you that emotional pain in business is just as tough as physical pain. It hurts more, it hurts longer. So if you're not thinking like a strategic business warrior in business, and you want to be nice and you want to be fair and you just want everybody to like you, you're going to go out of business. You want me to tell you what you want to hear or what you need to hear? Most of you guys are too nice. I'm not saying you need to be ugly, but you need to be very strategic. You have to figure out every unfair advantage of how you can cheat. You should probably write this down or just remember it. How you can cheat legally, morally, and ethically. I cheat every single day in business, legally, morally, and ethically. I don't snake anybody. I don't hurt anybody, but I figure out every advantage I can, and I stack up the odds in my favor. So let's take an example of that. What was an example of that? Me thinking about how I can buy those trailers that I know I'm getting them from my direct-to-seller marketing. I'm buying for $5 to $10 grand, and I'm hauling them into my park and setting them. I'm all in for 15, and I'm getting $850 a month. That's me cheating legally, morally, and ethically. Now you just have to figure out how you can apply that in everything you do in business. What's another way to cheat legally, morally, and ethically? Direct-to-seller marketing. Direct-to-seller marketing will make you a very rich man in real estate. I went from owning, $6-7 million in real estate to $45 million in like 5 years, with a $20 million net worth in 5 years, because of a few strategic advantages that I did. And I'm not telling you this to brag. I can tell you guys this because you're investors. Direct-to-seller marketing, raising private money, and building a brand. Those 3 things every one of you guys should be doing. Because if you're doing direct-to-seller marketing, you're going to get all the deals off market, and you're going to be able to capture equity. But if you're using your own money, you're going to hit a roadblock. And everything I'm telling you is what I did personally that I messed up on. I used my own money for the first $20 million in my portfolio. I used my own money. I almost went broke. I was real estate rich and cash poor. Who's did that before? Raise your hand. Yeah, that's another big mistake. you're being lazy. That's not cheating legally, morally, and ethically. You need to raise private capital. You stack your own cash and you use other people's money.
Hey, Chris, you talk about attracting that private money by being a good operator.
Yes.
So everything that you're describing, it all starts with the acquisition engine. There is no mobile home parks. There are no flips. Hell, there even no any mechanic shops without generating those leads. So now, as an operator, what does that acquisition stack looks like? So is it still direct mail? Is it still cold calling?
Yeah,
what does that look like to feed a beast that you built so far?
That's a great question. Yeah, we spend about, when things are really good right now, we're probably at about $55,000, $60,000 a month in direct mail. And I'm not saying you got to spend that. This is in all of them. I'm in 12 markets with partners. So we spend, we do direct mail. I used to do a bunch of digital marketing. Digital marketing doesn't work anymore. The PPC, unless you're doing nationwide, that doesn't work. I used to do a bunch of Facebook ads. That doesn't work. So my main marketing is direct mail and SEO. Y'all know the difference between SEO and PPC?
Tell us.
Yeah, tell it. SEO is search engine optimization. That's where you get ranked, but it takes a long time to get to the ranking. Like I'm number 1 in Lafayette. I think I'm number 1 to 3 in Baton Rouge that I hover around, depending on how much my girl's working on it. But PPC is paid ads where you have to pay for it. It's pay per click. And then you got Facebook ads. But PPC and Facebook do not work unless you're doing nationwide for PPC. Cold calling does work still, but it's a long cycle and it eats up a lot of your time. I don't have time to do that. If I want to be a professional real estate investor, I didn't get into real estate to just be a wholesaler. I'm always going to wholesale. I'm always going to flip because it's my fast money. Who here follows me? Raise your hand. Who here has ever heard me talk about fast, medium, and slow money? Okay. I had to coin this for myself. Look, I'm not that bright. I have to break things down for myself because nothing makes that much sense. When I listen to a bunch of guru shit on YouTube and it's just so much fake bullshit that I can't deal with it. So you're not going to get rich wholesaling flipping houses. You're not going to better quit your job and live a prosperous life by quitting your job and then buying a bunch of rental properties and trying to live off your passive income. You're going to get rich and wealthy by doing direct-to-seller marketing, buying at wholesale prices, keeping the best with a lot of equity in the best neighborhoods, and wholesaling and flipping the rest over a duration of time. And when I say a duration of time, I'm talking like 10 years. This is not a 1 to 2 year game. This is not a get-rich-quick game. This is a get-rich for sure as long as you don't quit.